2, 3.
Boom, baby. What's going on, Insurance Syndicate? Happy winning on Wednesday. You know what time it is. It is 9 a.m. Central, and we are live here from Syndicate HQ. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you can, let me know that you can hear and see me in the comments. And also, let me know where you're tuning in from. I see you on here, Joe. What's up, Lily? Good to see you on here. Again, let me know that you can hear and see me. And go ahead and also start dropping those weekly wins in the comments. That is why we are here, for winning on Wednesday. But before, as always, we get into the show, shout out to our main sponsor, Viva Virtual Solutions. Again, they've been the main sponsor of the show now for, gosh, I'm thinking almost 2 years. But seriously, we could not do it without Viva and just everything, again, that you see Lily Davies there in the comments, what she does within the group and how she helps us moderate. But then ultimately all the clips and the edits and the reels and the shorts and all the things that, again, y'all as agency owners, you know, it can take a lot away from your day. And I didn't realize how much I was doing until Lily joined the team. And I'm like, I'll never go back. So again, that's just on the social media side and helping us, again, run the group. But then ultimately what they do for insurance agencies and the virtual assistants that they provide. We could, again, not do it without Viva. So if you are in the market for a virtual assistant, definitely highly recommend Viva Virtual Solutions. It's Rob Lopez. Again, you see Lily in the comments. She's on the Viva team. But then Rob Lopez is their CEO and founder. Actually, insurance agent, built the VAs and then ultimately sold the insurance agency, went in all on the VAs. So again, he's got the insurance background, so highly recommend them. But again, you guys know, I was already kind of highlighting before, we got an awesome guest. I'm super excited to bring him on. But you know what time it is. Start dropping those weekly wins in the comments. I see you guys in there. What's up, Todd? What's up, Clint? Good to see you tuning in on here, man. Start dropping those weekly wins in the comments. I don't care how big or how small. We want to be able to celebrate you. My weekly win. Man, y'all, we got quite a bit of them. Today we're going to talk a little bit about trucking. So I guess I'll use this as my weekly win. We have a new trucking carrier that's coming on board within Clearview. So for all of our trucking agents, again, we've got one of our actual Clearview franchisees on the call. You guys can see from the description who's crushing it in the trucking space. But Nirvana is the new carrier. Again, some of you may have already started to do business with them. I know that there was some access through Amwins, but we ended up getting a direct appointment with them. Shout out to Joe Gonzalez. Also, ex-insurance agent, and he ended up going to the carrier side of things. So it's always cool to have those relationships and just add another carrier, a direct appointment to our arsenal to be able to help truck drivers out there on the road. So that is my weekly win, just a new carrier, but specific to the trucking side. If you guys haven't heard of Nirvana, definitely feel free to reach out and I could probably get you some connections. I know they're not going like full bore, hiring a bunch of people right now, but they are, looking to bring some people on. So that is definitely my weekly win. Drop those weekly wins in the comments so that we can celebrate you. Even if you are catching the replay, it's all good. We will circle back around to you. But y'all, like I said, you can tell in the description, he's one of I think he might have been like the youngest agency owner or agent that I've ever worked with or who's signed on. I mean, just me personally, but also just in the industry. I'm like, dude, who started their freaking agency at 19, 20 years freaking old? And I think he just turned 21, but we'll let him share that when he gets on the show. But everybody, without further ado, give a nice warm welcome to my man, Mr. Will Baumert. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
Good, brother. And I got to clarify. So I just turned 22 on Sunday.
Okay, 22.
Those
okay.
beers we had were legal. I got to clarify that.
I was like, I couldn't remember if you had just turned 21 or 22, but he's 22, but you started your agency when you were 21, which is just freaking amazing, man. Before we kind of get into your story and your background and just, again, how you're crushing it at such a young age. And again, there's things that I respect a lot about you outside of the industry, which we'll talk about that as well, man. But again, for people that don't know Will, man, you're kind of newer into the scene, definitely as a business owner. So just let people know, who's Will, what all you got going on, and then share a weekly win with us.
Yeah, pretty much. Like you said, I'm 22 years old, now PNC insurance agency owner. I'm originally from New York. I'm now in Dallas, Texas. We had the typical New York pipeline where we go from New York straight to Florida, and then we realized Florida was not the move, so we moved over to Texas. So, the typical pipeline, wound up in Texas. I grew up with an iPad in my hand. Unlike Joe's kids, I was like 12 years old with an iPad. What I found on my iPad was, these motivational guys like Gary V, you don't need college, open a business, da 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 da. It stuck with me. It worked, So basically growing up, I just knew that like college wasn't going to be for me. I wasn't going to go and just do the typical 9 to 5. In high school, I got my real estate license. I had my first deal under contract, like literally 2 to 3 months after graduating high school. I had a friend of a friend reach out to me, top Allstate agent in New York, said, hey, look, there's big money in PNC insurance. I said, perfect. I can do both real estate and insurance. Tried to juggle both for a little bit, just realized that you can't do that. And I went all in on insurance, and I'm here now.
I like that. You couldn't juggle both. I'm getting ready to write that down. We'll just get right into it, man. And then we'll come back to more of your backstory, but why not juggle both? What do you think is found like the benefit to be laser focused, right? And all in on one thing. And that's always something I think I've kind of struggled with in insurance, because insurance is so multifaceted.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, I'm focused on insurance, but insurance, I mean, depending on the seat you're sitting in, and again, as a business owner, there's a lot of things to focus on, even though we're all in on insurance. What do you kind of think are your thoughts when it comes to, again, being hyper focused and kind of running in that singular lane versus, hey, I'm going to do real estate. Hey, I'm going to do this alongside. What would be your kind of 2 cents, or again, what you find the benefit to be of focusing on one and not having your hand in multiple cookie jars?
Yeah, for sure. Well, there's that age-old saying where it's like, jack of all trades is master of none. So, you just go by that. And then realistically, like, I never was looking to recreate the wheel. I was just looking at like, who's the richest guy I know in my life? An insurance guy? Perfect. I want to do that. Like I never really looked out at these guys who are wealthier than me, older than me, that were trying to give me knowledge. And none of them were like, oh, I do construction, I'm in finance, I'm in this, I'm in that. All of them are just like, look, I got a dumpster business. That's it. You know what I mean? And so I realized through talking to them that I don't need to do 1,000 things if I'm just really good at one. So just really honestly, through not recreating the wheel and just following these older, smarter guys, that's, how I wound up here and just focused on one thing.
Hold on. I have to give you the yes. Don't reinvent the wheel, y'all. I freaking love it, because it is that simple though. It's like, what's the saying is, hey, you go find somebody that has what you want, you do what they do, and you get what they have. Right.
Exactly.
And it's like, and it's as simple as that, but yet there's so many. And I don't know, maybe what's your thoughts on just, again, with AI? Do you think AI and just, again, the world we're living in is causing us to kind of chase that shiny object and want to recreate the wheel? Is that why agents kind of confuse things? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I think AI is good for productivity if you're just using the tools. But I'm seeing so many people that'll be in a field and they'll see that AI is useful for like one thing, and then they'll start up like 4 different companies trying to chase that one thing with AI. So once again, dude, you can use it for the tools and, obviously use it as a networking benefit, share it with people that you're working with, stuff like that. But I see with AI, just so many people where they'll find one little niche thing. Now they want to jump ship over here. It's like, dude, AI has been around for like 3 months. You know what I mean? Like, I know you want to strike while the iron is hot. Yeah. But it's really just a productivity tool at the end of the day, in my opinion, as a younger guy. So yeah, I think with AI, it's just, bringing a lot of people away from what they should be focusing on, trying to be overly productive, just setting up all these systems that they're not even going to be using. Like sometimes, dude, just pick up the phone, sometimes that's what you got to do.
Oh, dude, another one. I love it, dude. Well, so, okay. Before we get into, again, the Allstate days, the independent, and then obviously not running your agency, the first question I wrote down, man, and this was something I struggled, because I think internally I knew that college wasn't for me, but it was so against the grain to not do that that I didn't, right? I went to college. Now, ultimately, I dropped out after a couple of years and got into insurance and have been in ever since. But I still had that. Again, I feel like I had that internal, like, man, dude, college ain't for me. But at the same time, again, I didn't want to go against the grain and kind of not be that kid that didn't go, right?
Yeah.
Did you experience any of that? And again, the reason I'm asking you that question is there's a lot of younger, and I say younger, just newer agents, right? Where sometimes it is hard to say, you know what, dude, this isn't for me. I'm going to go against the grain. I'm not going to be, we've had people on this show where their entire family was all doctors, right? And he's a life insurance agent. Now he makes more money than all the doctors in the family now. But that's a hard move to make. Did you go through any of that when you're like, you know what, dude, I already know at like 12, 13 years old that this ain't for me? Or did some of that change as you kind of were going through high school, or it just was always, dude, I know as soon as I get my GED, I'm going to work? What was that for you?
Yeah. For me, I just always knew. It's kind of funny story. When I was in kindergarten, I told my mom I needed a suit because one day I'm going to be president of the United States, and they got to be able to look back and know that I was always professional, So like, I'm just one of those guys. And honestly, like, there's going to be people that, like, some of them aren't those people. Go be a doctor. Maybe that's the best thing for some people. Not everyone is meant to go all in like this. Not everyone is supposed to step out. There's a reason why it's only 1 out of 100. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's even less than out of 100.
Mm-hmm.
So, thing for me though is, like I said, I was like hypnotized by my iPad hearing Gary Vee tell me, dude, you can fucking do anything. So for me, from a young age at like 12 years old, it's just constantly just, you can do anything, you can do anything, you can do anything. And then incorporating into that, I had a relatively smaller family. It's mainly just myself, my mother, my brother, and my mother supports me absolutely on anything. So with her, I'm like, hey mom, I'm going to the moon. She's like, how can I help you get there?
That's
so
awesome.
For me, there was no resistance in my family. It's not like I had a grandmother coming down on me and, no, you need to go to college. I didn't have my mother doing that. If anything, she was supporting me in going that path. And yeah, in high school, I caught some slack for saying I was going all in on real estate originally. And I definitely caught some slack for that. People are definitely like, oh, real estate, nice. Maybe you should enroll in community college too. That would be a good idea, right?
Right.
And look, people are always going to talk. You might as well give them something to talk about.
Hey, I like that, dude. I like it. Okay, so let's start with our Allstate days. Okay, so we already know, hey man, I'm dabbling in real estate, but no, I'm going all in on insurance, right? So
exactly.
take us through the start in the captive system, and then kind of work us through how you were able to find success. And again, at an early age. I remember when I first got in. Some people know this. When I first got in, I literally, and I was good. And everybody, I was over the phone. I wasn't doing a lot of in-person stuff, but it was a more old school brick and mortar agency that I started with. Even my first 2 Allstate agencies where, yeah, we would have some walk-in traffic, but a lot of that, it's all over the phone. Right. Yeah. And so I was good over the phone, but then like when we would sell a policy, I'd send out my little welcome packet and I'd have my card stapled in the Allstate folder that we would send out to them. I'm not even playing, Will. I would have people call back in and cancel the policy because they thought they bought a policy from a baby. Because I looked so young, and to the point of where I literally removed my picture from my email signature and from my card because it was like I looked so young.
I had to do the same thing, man.
Yeah. So start, like, how did you, because I was an intern and then customer service. It took quite a while for me to really have what I would qualify as success within insurance. Don't get me wrong. I learned so much and I don't, regret any of those days and becoming myself, but it took quite a while for me to get there. And it seems like you kind of expedited that process. What was that like in your first, and really how long were you at? I can't remember how long you were at that Allstate office, but just walk us through that beginning and what you were doing to find success.
So that first Allstate office, that was rough. I got a great opportunity there. I was there for only 6 months. And the reason being is I started in October of, I believe, 22. And for any Allstate agents, if they're on here, they'll probably remember this is right around the time period where they dropped, like a month after I started working there, clean and 3. They were not writing anybody. So my first experience in Allstate was just not eligible. If I'm getting 10 quotes out a day, 8 of them are not eligible. The other one is not even close. And the other one is just a little more expensive, So I was like, whoa, how am I supposed to sell this? And in my head, I'm just like, I just got to get the State Farm. If I get the State Farm, I'm a millionaire, But so I was there for only 6 months. And what the biggest change for me in insurance was when I went to Geico. That Geico office up in Long Island, they had the best training ever. They had just all the tools possible.
I
The phones were
forgot you were a
ringing.
Geico guy. I forgot that.
Dude, and I just got so many reps in. I mean, I'm talking about 10 to 12 solid quotes a day. I'm selling 4, 5, 6 auto policies alone a day. I mean, it's just that's where I really got a lot of my experience on the phones because it's phone, 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 phone,
Mhm.
phone. There was no outbound. I did 0. I mean, maybe when I first started there, they
Hmm.
maybe do 20, 30 outbound before they turned on my phones. And after that, man, I mean, everything was just inbound. So that Geico is where I give a lot of the credit for what really made me into the salesperson that I am today.
What would you say is the best? We've had a gentleman on here. He's out of Virginia. His name's Jason Kilgo. He also says the same. He was with Geico for, I think he was there for almost 2 years, I want to say. But he's like, dude, bar none, best freaking training I've ever. And I know there's a lot of different things that they do and how they do like the interviews and the calls and stuff like that. Like, what was the best part you think about the training that you took away?
Yeah, I mean, so for me, I was in a GFR, which is kind of like the like a separate captive agency within Geico. It was the largest one in New York. They sell so much insurance, they literally control the New York insurance market. Like that, they actually sell, I think it's like 95% of the Geico policies in New York. So, dude, they run everything.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is that I had a sales manager sitting literally right behind me, listening to almost every single one of my calls. That was the biggest thing. It was just like accountability.
Yeah.
You know, like Geico, they have a corporate team listening for compliance. They got like your overall manager of the business listening, the owner of the business is listening, your sales trainer is listening. It's just so many people are listening to you
Mhm.
that you get destroyed in your trainings. You know, you get destroyed. Each one has like 4 things they want to bring up about how much you suck. But you do that for like a year, that completely changes how you are on the phone, completely changes how you overcome objections, etc. So I mean, that was
Mm.
just constantly being trained like every single day was the biggest thing.
Even the words, right? My last Allstate agency that I was at, we were Capital Region as well, but we were out of Virginia and Maryland, and we had one of our managers that came over. It's funny, my least favorite sales manager of all time. I couldn't stand the guy, man. He drove me up a freaking wall. But there was one thing that I'll always give him credit for, Matt. You're definitely not watching this, but I'll still give you credit. He would just like shred my phone calls, but the main thing, dude, was he's like, stop saying the word quote. Stop saying the word quote, right? And I hear a ton of phone calls and I hear a lot of people, right? Hey, let me help you. Let me quote your insurance. Let me quote this. Let me run some quotes for you. And he goes, dude, as soon as you use the word quote, what do you think they're there for? A quote, not a policy, right? And so and it was crazy. I was like, fine, I'll shift it. Dude, my closing rate went up 15% by simply not using the word quote anymore, right? Because it's, hey, we run numbers, right? We run policies, rates, anything but the word quote. And it changed so much. And it's like, it's one little word. But again, I don't think you pick up on that if you don't have that kind of structure that you were just referencing. Would you do that in your agency? I don't know. I feel like I would teeter-totter. Is it overkill? But at the same time, I mean, it's Geico, so I should probably want to have something like Geico has set up, right?
Look, if you got someone that wants to make money, they don't think it's overkill because at the end of the day, you're making better. You know what I mean? So like, look, I was happy. I was like, can you listen to my phone calls? I'll send you these. If I didn't sell this, I'm sending it to you. Like, help me sell this policy. I want to make more money. So, I mean, if you got someone that's, dragging their feet and just, have to in insurance and real estate, maybe they're not going to want to have you on the phone calls, but I don't think it's a overkill, man. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I know there's other people that would probably look at it as micromanagement and this, but I love your mindset, which really is just your attitude towards like, dude, if I'm trying to make more money, like, why wouldn't I, have them listen to this call? And I think sometimes maybe people don't want to send it because it's embarrassing. It's like, oh man, I totally fumbled over that. But it's, again, that accountability piece is just so important. How long were you with Geico? How long were you rocking and rolling with them?
A year and like 8 months about.
Okay. And then what changed? What was the next kind of spark? Was it another Gary V video? And it was just like, you know what, dude, I got to go all in on myself now. And
that was always there. That never left. That's constantly. I was like a wolf in sheep's clothing at every job I'm at. I'm like paying attention to what the boss does. Like, how does he interact with his employees? Because one day I'm gonna have employees. Like, I was constantly thinking like that.
Yeah.
But What made me leave from there is I moved down to Florida. So I was heartbroken leaving that place. I love the guys at that office. I love the culture. I love the money I was making. Everything was awesome. But I moved down to Florida, and it was nice to kind of, get uncomfortable by moving, changing everything up. And from there, that was my first time working at an independent agency. So I was like, whoa, they got Geico and they got Progressive and they got Allstate and they got everyone else. This is crazy,
Right.
So that was the next move.
What caused the move to Florida?
I just wanted to get out of New York.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything specific. It wasn't like a rush or anything, but it was just kind of like slowly like, dude, we're paying, 25,000 a year in property taxes and like not seeing anything for it. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like, why are we staying here? And so we're like, we might as well just move to Florida. I can work anywhere at this point. I have a good resume, stuff like that. Moved down to Florida. Turns out not cheaper. Dude, South Florida is not cheaper. So I'm paying New York prices for Florida. I'm like, what is going on here? That's not the deal I signed up for. So then we bounced over to the DFW now. And this is, I have to say, DFW, you think Austin's good? We'll agree on Texas, but I personally think the DFW is the best place to live on the entire planet right now.
I don't know, man. I like it. And I'm sorry. If you guys are in Dallas, I love you all. If you're watching this, I love you all. I love you, Will. But dude, I don't know, man. There's other times where I'm like, dude, it's just a little too, I hate to say it like this, but it's like, it's just a little too uppity for me, man. It's like, I'd rather go drink a beer on the lake or like go to the creek and hang out with the boys, like, I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit more upscale, a little bit more fancy, a little bit, well, and I mean, there's a ton of money in that area, which is not a bad place to be for freaking insurance either, except for, I mean, it's DFW. Well, let me ask you that. I know we're kind of going all over the place, but I love the flow of this conversation.
Yeah.
What's the, have you experienced any difficulty since living in DFW and trying to write business in that area? It's a very difficult place to write business, but it's like, you're coming from Florida, so I guess you're kind of used to it, or no, it's like, it's easy. I'm good to go.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing when it comes to writing business is just like finding the business. You know what I mean? I found that here in the DFW, it's literally the easiest it's ever been in my entire life to just like make a cold connection with, like, whether it's a loan officer, literally just someone at the gym. Like the people here are by far the friendliest. I mean, South Florida does not have Southern hospitality. So this is my first time kind of having the Southern hospitality, which I'm trying to get used to, because being from New York, it's kind of a little offsetting. Be like, how are you? I'm like, what do you want from me?
Yeah, what are you doing? Yeah.
But it's by far the easiest place to just meet people, spark up conversations, and people just want to support my business. So, when you have someone, I'm going for a walk with my dog, and it's just all of a sudden they're like, hey, you're in insurance? I have homeowners insurance. Can you quote me? And I'm like, of course I can. And then being with Clearview, I mean, we have pretty much every carrier under the sun. So, I mean, when it comes to actually finding a market, like if there is a better market, dude, we're going to find it,
Yep. Okay. So let's backtrack a little bit to Florida and independent, right? So going again from the captive to the independent side of things, speak to the captive agent that's thinking right now, that's listening, that's thinking about potentially going independent. What would you tell them? And again, in those, because I know for me, and a lot of people have heard this story, so I'm not going to go through it all, but it's like, when I went from Allstate to independent, dude, it was, oh my gosh, open the floodgates. I mean, I was a yes man, and I spread myself so freaking thin, which again taught me like, okay, here's what I need to focus more on these types of appetites. I need more states, not all the carriers in one state. Like, so I learned a lot in that. But it took me quite a while. Speak to that captive agent that's either thinking about going independent or just went independent. And it ain't captive. I'll tell you that. You do have all the options, and you can say yes to a lot of things. What was that first 3 to 6 months? What would be your 2 cents to them?
Yeah, well, so the biggest thing is for the guys that are not independent yet. What are you doing? What are you doing? Imagine all the money you're making in captive and all the policies that you aren't selling because you're not competitive. Now imagine you are competitive. Like, that's literally just the difference. Like, you can't sell it now. You will be able to sell more. It's not really like better customer service or anything, but you can just sell more. Like at the end of the day, you have more tools in your tool bag. Why would you go build a house with only a hammer? You know what I mean? Like, you want more. So there's more in the independent side. And then when it comes to switching from captive to independent, you're 100% right, man. I mean, you can come over here And all of a sudden you're like, I'm doing personal auto. Then I got lenders sending me homeowners insurance. Then I'm calling truckers. Then I'm over here networking with builders because I want to do builders risk. And I'm trying to get restaurants under this. And it's like, you get so many different things that like now part of your brain's over here, part of your brain's over here. That it's the same thing as, when it comes to, am I doing insurance or real estate? Just kind of got to narrow in a little bit on what you want to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How did you get into trucking? Was the agency already doing that? Or is that something that you're like, man, I want to get into this? Or how did you get exposed to that?
No, so that agency in Florida, no harsh words, but it was kind of like a Wolf of Wall Street vibe when I went there. So it wasn't, I'm going from like corporate Geico to Wolf of Wall Street. I was like, I don't know what's going on here. So then I bounced over to a completely remote job because I knew that I was going to move towards opening this agency, and that was all remote trucking insurance, and that is where I got the trucking.
Okay. And so let's stay here with trucking. So again, anybody listening and you're interested in trucking, definitely, listen up here. What are you doing, or what did you do? And then ultimately we'll kind of segue into what you're doing now in your agency. But what did you do to first start finding success in the trucking insurance industry?
For sure. So, I mean, the first real success that I was seeing was at that remote job.
Mm-hmm.
They're feeding me leads. I'm getting inbound calls, stuff like that, Facebook ads that they're running.
Okay.
The first month there, I put up like 168,000 in premium. I'm like, whoa, 168,000. What would that be if I did that myself? I'm just punching into the calculator. I'm like, damn, I would have made a little bit of coin here, and then it's like, I do it again the next month. Next month, I put up like 202,000. Like, if I could just do like half this, I don't even need to do all of it. Just let me do half of it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where I started like really pushing the issue, because in personal lines, I'm putting up like 100,000 a month inbound, auto leads.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, but the fact that like trucking, it's like an easy 200,000 because it's a remote job, dude. You're working at like a remote job. I'm 3 hours on, 2 hours off. Like
right.
I'm not even really.
Hold on. Let's stay here though, because you're just cruising over. Oh yeah, my first month I did over 150,000, and my second month I did over 200,000. There's a lot of people that are in this group, or even just again in the industry, that are doing the similar things that we've done, right? Whether it's again running Facebook ads, or it's, hey, I'm picking up the phone, and I mean, I know you and me were just dialing a couple weeks ago. Like, I mean, you can still outbound dial on these suckers and get quotes and close these deals, right?
Yeah.
What were you actually doing to get to those sales? Because again, there's a lot of people that are trying to get to that level in their agency. You did it. I mean, you wrote more in 2 months what some agencies do sometimes in a year, bro. What were you doing? Was it the script? Was it the tonality? Was it like, let's give us some of that secret sauce that you were doing to close these deals?
Yeah, well, the biggest thing is just like being on the phones. Like if you're not talking to people, calling, like you're not making money. So the biggest thing is you got to like look at it from a point of view where like, all right, 9 to 5, I can talk to people. Outside of 9 to 5, what can I do so that then during 9 to 5, I can talk to more people? You know what I mean? So a lot of people, and I found myself doing this in the beginning too, where it's like, I'll, sign on 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, okay, how can I make myself more productive? And then I'm over here building systems. All of a sudden it's like 2 o'clock and I haven't even called a single person, So I've really just tried to especially now, just spend the first like 2-3 hours just on the phone. Like literally, I don't even check my email, check Slack real quick to see if you messaged me or something, but I'm not putting out any fires yet. Like literally first 2 hours is prospecting. You know what I mean? Just trying to get quotes, just get my business going and going and going. And then after that, then I'll start checking my email, start doing my other system, stuff like that. But the biggest thing is just staying on the phone, man.
What time do you pick up, or what time do you start? 8, 9?
Anywhere from 8 to 9. It depends on what time I get back from the gym and then shower, eat, so really 8, 8:20, 8:40, just depends on when I sit here.
And what is the goal, or the, I guess you call it the objective, but like, again, when you're, hey, all right, I'm going to sit down every single day for my first 2 to 3 hours, man, I'm going to start building this thing up, and I'm gonna get on the phone and just be productive and talk to more people. Right. What's the objective when you're going into those dial sessions? Is there a talk time? Is there a quote kind of goal? Is it more just, dude, I don't give a shit. I'll quote as much as I quote, or maybe I don't at all, but I'm still just picking up the phone and dialing? Is that kind of what you're looking at? Just call volume, or is there other metrics in there? Okay.
Biggest thing is when I first started, I mean, I had no fires to put out. You know what I mean? So I'm like, do not disturb phone. Let's go. But now there's obviously service coming in. I have lenders that I've been meeting here, sending me business. and I can't leave them 5-6 hours during a workday unanswered. So now it's I kind of feel it out, I'll just still same thing, come in, I'm not looking at anything, just start calling. And if I remember that, like, hey, this guy really needed something from me, maybe 9:30, I'll call it, 10:30. I really just don't have any metrics because, like, then I'll get caught up in it. You know what I mean? If I'm at, like, I need to do 100 dials a day and I'm at 80 and then I have to do something, I'm just going to start getting torn in all these different places.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, I agree. I mean, it's like, I think I want to say this was you and me talking. And it was how I used to do the 1, 2, 3, where it's like the 100 dials, 2 hours talk time or 3 quotes. And last year was the first year that I kind of did away with that expectation for the sales team. And it was more of just, hey, just hit your numbers.
Yeah.
Right. And it worked out very well, where it wasn't like, okay, I was super hyper focused, and I still believe in the activity. So I don't know. I would probably say that's kind of a toss up, right? Where it's like, I do want to have some type of metric or some type of way to measure what I'm doing. But at the same time, I do agree with you where it's like, dude, I'm a business owner, right? And service, and I mean, a house can be on fire. It's like, I don't need to dial 20 more times. I need to pick up that call and I need to talk to my client. So like, I get that part of it too. So, okay. So we obviously, spent a little bit of time with Allstate, obviously had a lot of success with Geico, ended up making a pivot, making a move to Florida, kind of got into really the independent space, but then ultimately exposed to the trucking side of things. And then, dude, you're freaking 21 years old and you're like, screw it, man. I'm starting up my own business. What was the thinking? Obviously, we know that you knew, from a very early age, like, yeah, I'm going to do this. But what was the mindset and what was the thinking? Because I remember some of our conversations that we were having before you took that kind of like that final leap. What was the mindset and the mind frame that you put yourself in order to really say, you know what, dude, even at 21, and I keep bringing up age because I know it's just a number, dude, but it is freaking important, man. I mean, you're 21 years old, freaking running a company. You know what I was doing at 21, Will?
You're having some fun.
Not that.
You're having some fun.
I wasn't doing what you were doing. That's for damn sure. So it ages, even though it's a number, it's important, man. You're very mature and you're doing a lot of things, even outside of the agency. Like, I love the way that you support your family and you're there for your mom. And I know you guys just did that, big trip overseas and everything. Like, I love that part. What was the mindset, dude? Like, how does a 21-year-old come into this thing and know that I'm just going to crush it, and you weren't scared to make that leap and make the bet on yourself? What is that?
Yeah, well, the biggest thing is like, I have nothing to lose, dude. Like, the biggest thing is the age. I was like 18, 19, making 95,000 a year at Geico. In my head, I'm like, dude, I can do anything. You know what I mean? Like, worst case scenario is I just go back to a normal salary. That's literally like, actually, worst case scenario. Okay, I fail in insurance. I literally take out so much debt, I go bankrupt, and I'm like 22, 23 with a cool story, and then I just go work some like commercial insurance job somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, truly, I just have nothing to lose. Like, if I was like 40 with 3 kids and, an established career, might be a little harder to pivot. But, in my head, all roads lead to Rome. So I'm always going to end up here, no matter what I do. But the biggest thing is, dude, I got nothing to lose. Like, actually, worst case scenario is I get sued and I go bankrupt, and then like 22. You know what I mean? And like, now I'm 22 at like USI selling commercial insurance with a funny story. You know what I mean? Like, that's it,
Yep. Plenty of time, right? That's definitely a Gary V thing. Cause I always love when he shreds people. Are you kidding? How old are you? Like, shut up, dude. You have so much freaking time, bro. I'm seeing that video circulating even recently. Okay. So we started the agency, right? You made the bet. All roads lead to Rome. I love that. What are you doing? Again, for somebody who's just starting their agency, or again, maybe is even just in their first year, because again, you're finding success, but I also know, you're doing other things within your agency that are probably a little bit different, or again, maybe even a little uncomfortable for you just because you haven't had to do them. But at the same time, like, I know, like, the leads and the processes and things and the systems that you're building, talk through some of that and why you're doing that within your agency. Again, even in your first, 6 months, starting this thing.
Yeah, man. So the biggest thing is just like, with the leads, it's totally a system. It's all systematic. You either do it yourself or you pay for it. In the beginning, I was paying Smarter Financial for some auto leads. Dude, they're like $50 a pop, bro. There's no shot I'm doing that. You know what I mean? There's no shot. Anyone, Quote Wizard, EverQuote, that's ridiculous. Like, they kind of run the personal auto lead side of things. So I was like, look, I got to find a way to generate leads outside of them. So biggest thing is just calling these truckers because it's like basically free. I pay a couple $100 a month for my phone systems to get the actual lists and everything like that. I'm calling them. And then what I was saying is outside of work, I'm building systems. You know what I mean? So I haven't really mentioned this to you yet, but I've literally built out a competitor to Quote Wizard, to EverQuote, these larger companies. Shout out Clear Choice Partner if you want to check it out,
Hey,
clearchoicepartner.com. But with that, I've been able to generate auto
your
insurance
choice
transfers.
partner, dude.
Yes,
That's
sir,
wild.
bro. Shout out Clear Choice Partner,
Oh,
where I'm literally getting like these same transfers from EverQuote, Quote Wizard for literally a fraction of the cost now. So now I'm sitting here, I'm like, I got inbound leads coming in for my agents to get reps. And then I got this list of truckers that I know everyone else has it, but not everyone's calling them. You know what I mean? So like the biggest thing is like now I have these tools where I know we have a meeting in a little bit with my little brother where now I can bring him on. I'm already looking to possibly even start bringing other people on because it's like once you build out the systems, then you can start just plugging people in. I mean, if I'm giving people leads, I'm giving them this, I'm giving them a script, I'm giving them that. Give me a monkey with a license and they can sell it. You know
right.
what I mean? I can put anyone in this seat and they can sell it. So, building out the systems is just when it comes to lead generation and everything, that's the most important thing. But not doing that during the 9 to 5. During the 9 to 5, I'm a salesperson. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'm trying to sell. I don't have salespeople right now. I'm selling. Once I have salespeople, maybe I'll go golfing a little bit. Maybe I'll be building out systems. I'll be getting coffee. I'll be chilling out a little bit. But right now, I got to sell. And then after work is when I can go on. I can start taking care of, Clear Choice Partner, the leads taken care of, doing this, doing that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot, but it's the systems. You got to set them up right.
Right. Well, and you don't have anything to lose either, bro. And I think, and some people view it as like, and I don't know. I struggle with this because of how passionate I am. And again, it depends on the seat that you're sitting, right? You're probably going to be working outside of 9 to 5 if it's your baby, right? Versus,
Yeah.
hey, this isn't really my agency. Like I'm making good money. I mean, unless you're extremely driven, like, again, it's not your agency, right? Nobody's ever going to care about your business as much as you do. So again, I think it does vary based off the seat that you're sitting in, but still a lot of what I see, bro, it's like, dude, there's so much other shit that you could be doing, not during these work hours, right? And again, I may be talking to quite a few of you guys in the group as well, or anybody listening. It's like, you're doing a lot during the day that, isn't what I would call work, right? Or at least in the direction that is pushing your agency the way that you want it to go, right? Where again, and I know it's kind of corny, but it's like, oh, doctor's appointments or this or what. I mean, so there's a lot of things that I think we schedule where for me, I mean, even like, dude, I was on the phone last night, like talking shop with some business owners until like 11 o'clock. Right. But now I'm not having that conversation during the day. Why? Because they're freaking business owners, right? It's like they're busy, like they're running their businesses. So it's like sometimes, man, it's like there's other things that we have to do outside of these operating hours. But again, it's my baby, right? So I should want that. Let me ask you this, because there's not a lot of people that are grinding like this anymore. And I'm subject to it. And again, I mean, I've got kids and stuff, but it doesn't mean I still couldn't do it. I mean, I used to grind six days a week, bro, 10, 12-hour days. And I did that for years, man. What does that look like for you? Are you grinding Saturdays and doing your thing, or what all you got going?
Besides this past weekend, because it was finally my birthday, I gave myself the pass. I know. I gave myself the pass to ice storm.
Yep.
I get to, stay in bed a little longer. Yeah, okay. Until this past week, yeah, it's pretty much almost been like 7 days a week. I mean, I'm not saying like, I work 80 hours a week. Like it's pretty much just 9 to 5. I'll go to the gym, whatever, come back, jujitsu, whatever at night, come back, I'll log back on, do another 2-3 hours. Just, I'm in a new area. I don't really have that many friends right now, and I'm trying to keep it that way. You know what I mean? I don't want friends dragging me out, doing this, doing that. If we're friends, we're referral partners. That's what we are right now. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to keep it so I can just keep working and working and working and working. And, I just started this business, so I really have no excuse except to work. Like, why would I not work as hard as possible if I open up this agency?
Right.
So for me right now, I'm grinding, but that's not the goal forever. I'm 22. If I keep working like this, I'm going to lose the rest of my hair. So,
it's something I struggle with, man, because I think, again, I'm very blessed and I'm grateful in the seat that I'm sitting in now. but it's a question that I have definitely been revisiting, which is part of it is kind of what drove me to get back on the phones, right?
Yeah.
Which is, man, do I work like what I used to do? Back when I was broke as shit, not making any money and working 10, 12-hour days, 6 days a week. And it's like now I'm sitting in the seat that I'm sitting in. And again, very blessed, very grateful. And I did put in my time, but I ain't working like I was working when I was broke. And it's like, what? I don't know. I struggle with that. I know the goal is to not have to grind, the 6 days, 10, 12-hour days or whatever. But I don't know. Do you struggle with
that? I hate
that?
to break it to you, bro.
Yeah.
I hate to break it to you, man. It's not possible. You'll forever be doing this. That's why you have what you have, man. Like even if you were to sell everything, you would go home and within a week you're slamming your head into the wall because you don't know what to do.
Two days. 2 days.
Unfortunately, man, you're like me, bro. There is no getting out of this.
Right.
We always say, oh, in like a year from now, I'll be able to relax, or in 5 years from now, or when I hit this, I'll relax. And then you hit it and you're like, I could double this, and it's going to forever be like that.
Right. Well, so let's talk systems. Because you brought up, hey, look, and I do want to talk a little bit about recruiting too. I love that you already brought that up and you're already thinking about plugging people in, and you are. I know we're literally getting ready to meet with your brother following the show. That was one thing I always kicked myself on, is I waited too long to recruit because I wanted to know everything first. And maybe that was a lack of systems. I didn't know any better, right? It was, hey, Safeco gave us our first direct appointment, and best of luck to you, man. I mean, it's like we had Ricochet 360, which is our CRM, which is great. But then outside of that, like what system, So again, that might've been on us as we were starting, but what systems are you using? Can you talk through just again, kind of some of your tech stack and what that looks like for when you go to plug people in, or when you're getting ready to plug your brother in? Like what systems is he plugging into?
Yeah, for sure. So I'll kind of touch on what you originally said too, is like being afraid to let go of control immediately. I'm here to be a business owner, not a producer, so in my head, I'm like, the faster I can get the business owner, the faster I can become a better business owner, because I have plenty of reps being a producer. That's fine. Done that for a while. I've spoken to, I don't even know how many people, sold, I don't know how many millions of premium from all the jobs that I've worked. That's fine. But I've never been a business owner before. So in my head, I'm like, the faster I can just get there, and then I can teach everyone how to be good producers, but then I got to learn how to be a good business owner. It's the biggest thing for me, because I didn't sign up to be a producer. And when it comes to delegating, that's kind of why I went with Clearview. I could have handled all the appointments and all the back work that comes with that. But dude, the fact that I can just step in here and it's really just an agency in a box, it's just like, hey, I signed the contract and then I have everything. Like, that's the best thing ever. I'm fine delegating,
right?
So that then it makes my life 10 times easier. That's always the goal. I want to make my life easier. And then when it comes to current tech stacks, I mean, pretty simple, man. I mean, I use Ring Central for my phone.
Okay.
We got the Gmail, that comes with Clearview, I'm using Carrier OK. That's how I'm getting all the trucking information. So all the lists and all the data I'm getting, it's Carrier OK, not affiliated. Just I use that at a previous job. Love their data.
So that's different. That's different than like the cab and the Carrier software, or did Carrier software rebrand to Carrier OK, or it's totally
separate. They use a few other pieces of data from other places too. It's like $300 a month, but I just find their information to just be fire. Like I've used it before. $300 a month, even if I could find it cheaper somewhere, dude, I'm using it. It's ease. Got to make my life easier. We use Easy Links within Clearview, and then like, I don't know. I mean, that's pretty much it, man. Like within my agency specific, I mean, I don't have that many tabs open right now. We have agency Zoom where you upload the sales. Yep. Monday, where within Clearview, you can see all the commission schedules, you see all the carrier codes, everything like that. So, I mean,
are you using kind of like Easy Links as what I would call your kind of CRM to an extent? Like, so, I mean, I'm on agent CRM, but then obviously we have Easy Links. And so and I know Easy Links has made like a ton of change, right? When I first signed up with them years ago and left, and then I ultimately came back, Easy Links didn't look the freaking same that it does now, right? And I know they have the automations and they're trying to roll out some more of that CRM functionality, but in my opinion, I mean, they're light years behind, you know, the full bore, like true CRM that has been, you know, up and running and been a true CRM forever, right? For years.
Yeah.
Are you using Easy Links kind of like that pair? I mean, obviously you got Ring Central, because then I know you're probably texting out of Ring Central then.
Yeah, I'm texting calling out of there. That's phone system. I have a Go High Level account as like a CRM, but when it comes to leads, I mean, I'm just keeping my trucking leads in there. You know, so like if I'm calling for like an hour, I get 2-3 quotes, throw them in there. So it's not like I'm extensively using my CRM. You know, it's kind of just like a once a day thing where I'll just hop in, call, text these guys, move on. You know, I'm not spending all day in it. And then when it comes to the auto leads, I'm just using the CRM that comes with Clear Choice Partner. So within there, all the leads that I've taken, all the transfers that have come in, I'm just going directly in there, and you know, it's its own CRM.
Okay. What's the functionality of that? I'm interested on the Clear Choice Partner, bro.
I knew you would be, brother. I knew you would be.
Break it down. What is it? Talk to us more about it.
Yeah, I mean, so just imagine like Quote Wizard, EverQuote, Smarter Financial for just half the price. Like that's literally it. Just imagine them without all the middle managers that they have, all the HR staff, all the like just waste. You know what I mean? Like, not to get political or anything, but you know, like the whole Doge thing, just come in, take out all the middle, and just what's actually left is the product. And that's literally it. You know what I mean? So I mean, that's pretty much it. Just imagine one of those, except for literally half the cost, and then it just looks 10 times better.
And they are calls, right? Are there anything data wise, or it's all just transfers? Like,
yeah, we have transfers. We have just like normal leads that you can come in and just buy, you know, like $3-4 a pop, just the normal standard auto data leads. We're going to branch out into life, health, home, the whole nine. But right now we're just focusing on auto. Once again, focusing on one thing, becoming the best, and then branching out.
Yep.
When I say focusing on one thing, that doesn't mean forever it's only insurance. I just got to become the king. And then once I'm the king, then I go become the king somewhere else. And I just keep stacking up like that.
Yep.
But right now, just auto leads. You'll see if you go to the website, it's the best looking website, best looking portal, best functionality.
It's clear. So it's clearchoicepartner.com, right?
Exactly. Yes, sir.
Hey, Lily, if you're still tuning in with me, we got quite a bunch of people. Hey, what's up, Ollie? Good to see you. What's up, Ray? Lily, if you could put in, actually, you know what? I'll just do it from my phone real quick. I got you, bro. Clear Choice Partner or Partners?
Partner.
Clearchoicepartner.com. Cool. I mean, shit, I'm about to be your partner, bro. I mean, I know we already kind of partnered up, but I'm like, shoot, Todd, hit the link, bro. We're going to buy some weed from Will. That's freaking awesome, bro. What caused that?
Just realizing that I'm spending way too much money on these leads.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, I need them. You know, like I was saying, you know, a lot of my experience is from Allstate, Geico, that independent place where I'm literally taking inbound calls. I'm selling $100,000 a month. So I'm like, if I could just get inbound calls, I know I can then once again sell $100,000 a month. Like easy. I know I can do that. I've done it for years, you know? Yeah. So I was like, well, I don't really feel like spending, you know, $50, $60, $70 a transfer from, you know, EverQuote, make someone else rich. So I was like, I might as well just build out my own thing. And then, you know, if I get guys like you, other guys, I'm not really looking to make it be EverQuote once again, but like I get smaller guys like you, give you guys the cheaper leads too. We can all just win. Right. You know what I mean? Like that's the biggest thing, you know, not looking to, once again, can't make the main business, can't do anything. But I was like, I need a system set up for my agency because I know I got the scripts. I remember the Geico training. So it's not like I stole it. I just remember it and I'm going to kind of pass it on. And I know that I can just put people in a seat and have them sell 80 to 120,000 a month, guaranteed, you know, as long as I get those leads. Now I do, you know.
Yep. Love that, dude. I love that. It's funny. You say it. Rob, I mean, literally the sponsor of the show, Viva, he's a perfect example of this. There's tons of other perfect examples of this where you build it out of necessity for your agency. And you're gonna get enough attention or enough attraction to that freaking website, dude. And you're gonna be like, damn, I built it for my agency, but now everybody else wants this. And then it's like, shit, is this gonna make me more than insurance? So I'm just telling you, you may have that moment in life where you're like, I built it for me and it works, and now everybody else kind of wants it. So I'm just saying.
That's a good problem to have, though. That's the kind of problem I have.
They make it a little bigger than what you think, man. I love that, dude. And I definitely, Lily dropped that. I dropped that in the comments, y'all. If you're looking for, again, freaking a fraction of the cost when it comes to just auto leads right now, correct?
Just auto leads, but if you're looking for anything else, reach out to us.
Okay.
It'll take us 2 to 3 weeks to make sure we can actually get it for the lowest, and then I can totally start running those as well.
Okay.
Any state, anything you need.
Love it. All right. Clearchoicepartner.com. I got it there in the comments, y'all. And I'll drop it again to our other socials and stuff. So if you're catching this on other platforms, you can definitely go and take a look. So dude, last 10 minutes here, man, before we hop on another call and do some training together. I'm excited to meet your brother. What's kind of on the horizon, man? I mean, obviously, you've got a lot of stuff kind of built out, and I think that's really important, man. I think one thing that, again, I really like about you is you're new to it, but you know how to lay the foundation, because there's no, like you said, there's no point to go build a house, with just a hammer. And it's like, well, there's no point to build a house if you don't even have a freaking foundation either. And I think a lot of the times people, and I see this in the industry too, where we're really good at sales, but we're not always the best operators, right? Where it's like, dude, I can sell. Well, there's a lot of people out there that can sell policies, but there's a lot that needs to take place. And again, be set and have that foundation in your agency in order to make those sales actually, mean something, which really is the residual income. We want them to stay with us, right? Rebecca Davis, a friend of mine, always says it best, where she's like, a lot of people have their front door open and you're great. Tons of people coming in, but then you didn't close the back door. So they're just walking straight through your agency, and you're not, actually building that compounding, residual income through the renewals.
Yeah.
What's next for you, bro? I mean, it seems like you got the foundation. I know we brought up recruiting a little bit. I mean, what does that look like for you? What all do you have for, really, I guess, 2026? What all do you got cooking?
2026 is just being in the driver's seat. You know what I mean? Like, I've completely built everything out. 2025 was just building everything, just building the foundation to where I'm going to start getting my first renewal check soon, which is going to be a nice, juicy check right there. Not having to really do any work for anything and getting paid. That's like literally what I signed up for. Once again, making my life as easy as possible, So that's coming in finally, because as you said, I'm a newer agent. And just, scaling, like 2025 was the year of building. 2026 is just scaling, just like fully trying to scale up, get as many agents under me as possible, have them as productive as possible, and just actually being a business owner, So 2025 is building out the foundation, being a producer, etc. 2026 for me is moving more into operations and actually being a business owner and just scaling from there.
Yeah. How are you? I mean, obviously, I know, we have conversations, and I know, the rest of the Clearview team and just other people. I mean, obviously, we collaborate and we know how to run businesses, right? What are you doing just yourself, right? We talked about the 9 to 5, but outside of the 9 to 5, is there anything that maybe you're, specifically doing, whether that's through coaching or mentorship, or again, just educating yourself on how to be a better business owner? Or is it more, dude, we have so much free freaking training out there, I just pop on YouTube and educate myself that way? Is there anything that you're doing specifically just for you and what you're trying to build?
Education. I mean, I'm always listening to podcasts, so it's not like I'm doing anything specifically, but just, listening to podcasts. I got a 40-minute drive to jiu-jitsu, bro. That's a podcast there, and I can have a podcast on the way back, So just constantly trying to grow, and not even just specifically insurance, but a lot of these books I have right behind me, like a lot of them are philosophical. A lot of them are about self-growth, like not to get into that whole side of things, but I'm just trying to become the best person possible. It's not even so much just the best business owner. Like, am I a good guy? Like at the end of the day, can someone like shake my hand and trust me? Like, that's the kind of stuff that I'm trying to work on too. And not saying that I'm not good at that. I'm just saying continue to scale on that.
Yeah.
Where it's not even just only business, it's also trying to have a little bit of balance too, and just become a good person and a strong man,
What makes you a good person? What's like one of the top 2 to 3 things that you think through your studies and through your reading? What do you think tops the list?
Specifically for a man, I would say being able to provide. You got to be able to provide, and it's not just provide and then come home and complain to everyone that you're providing. I think it's just being selfless. Like, you got to just be able to throw yourself on the train tracks, get ran over, get up, and put a smile on your face. Like, that in my head is one of the most important things for being a man. Self-discipline, because if you can't control yourself and you're, eating all this stuff or indulging in whatever like that, you can't win in anything. You know what I mean? Like, you can't expect to conquer business if you can't conquer yourself first. You know, like that's a huge thing. And dude, just taking accountability.
Yeah.
You know, just like, it kind of ties into the other two, but just like realizing like it's on you, bro. You know, like I said, growing up, it's me, my mom, and my brother. Someone comes in this house, I'm the oldest man. You know what I mean? I gotta go meet him, you know?
Yeah.
And that's a little scary at first, but like,
yeah,
it goes outside of just like the home intruder aspect, where it's like, you know, I'm the oldest man. Like, dude, I gotta do this. You know, I'm not getting the family business passed on to me. I'm not getting whatever. So it's just accountability, looking yourself in the mirror. Doesn't matter at all the cards that you're dealt here in America. You can literally do anything you want. So it's just a matter of taking those cards and, you know, making the best of it.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. It's a big mindset thing, but I love the self-discipline, but ultimately paired with accountability. I think again, sometimes discipline can be fleeting, right? And we've all seen it. I mean, if you're going to the gym, right, it's like, man, that place was packed a few weeks ago, and it's already, you know, it's not even February yet, and you already see the discipline. It was fleeting there, right? It's like I was really disciplined for like 3 weeks, and that's, you know, even I'll call myself out. Speaking about like physically, like working out, I used to be a workout junkie, dude. It was like, man, I could not go without getting my workout in. I've totally fallen off on that, and so I'm calling myself out. I need to be more accountable of just, again, taking care of my body and working out more, right? It's like I'm struggling to get 3 workouts in a week, and it's like, come on, Joe. You can freaking do it, man. So I'm calling myself out, but it really is. I mean, it's that discipline piece, man. We have to be I mean, you went through the House of Dreams. It's like, bro, discipline's the foundation, man. That's my foundation, right? When we talked about foundation and laying out, it's discipline. You have to be disciplined in your life and in your business in order for it for you to be able to build right on top of that. So I love that, man. Well, kind of as we come to a close, my favorite question I've been asking everybody, man, and I love this. You can get philosophical on it too if you want. In 5 years from now, what do you hope people say about Will? Not 10 years, not 15, not 20, not next year, but 5 years from now specifically, what do you hope they say about Will?
Wow, man, that's a deep one. That's a deep one.
That's why I said you could get philosophical if you wanted to.
Let's see. In 5 years from now, what do I want people to say about me? That I changed the game, man. I mean, that's truly the goal here. The goal is not I say don't recreate the wheel. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to picking what you want to do. But once you're, you know, in a specific lane, you know, it's up to you to build. It's up to you to change stuff. So, I mean, if they can say I changed the game, you know, I'll be 27 by then. Yeah, that would be nice to say.
Yeah. 27, 5 years from now, man, I'll still be in my 20s. Some people are listening to this like, shut up, you youngins. But again, I mean, bro, you're 22 years old doing this thing, man. Like I said, dude, I was not near this responsible or, again, disciplined, and really just, I would call it just having a good head on my shoulders, dude. I was out there partying, being freaking crazy, and I was still working. It was fine. I mean, I was still with Allstate. But I was broke as a joke, man. It was just a job. And again, obviously I, you know, leveled up. I changed the game a little bit, leveled up out of that. But man, seriously, just a huge kudos to you, dude. I'm really proud of you, man. I'm excited to hop on this next call with you and your brother, and just love seeing everything that you're doing, man. So, well, y'all heard it here first. Thank you, Will, brother. I appreciate you hopping on. I guess real quick, for anybody that wants to reach out, how can they reach out to Will? Obviously, we got clearchoicepartner.com. That is in the comments. You guys can go there and check out the auto leads. If you want other leads, just reach out to Will. How do they reach out, Will?
Yeah, man. And then from there, I mean, my email is willbaumert@clearviewinsurance.com. My Facebook, William Baumert. You know, that's my name, so you can pretty much find me on every platform. And if anything else, I mean, you can always reach out to Joe. I work with him all the time, part of that Clearview family. And if you're not part of Clearview yet, what are you doing? I mean, seriously, you got to start rethinking things if you're not a part of Clearview. So don't even just reach out to me. Make sure you hit up Joe as well and get aboard here.
Love it, bro. Love it, man. Well, thank you, dude, for the kind words. Again, thank you for your time. I'll see you here shortly. To all of our Insurance Syndicate members and all of our listeners that are listening after the fact, you know what time it is. It is the peak of the week. It is not time to slow down. It is time to keep the pedal down and finish out strong. And again, you heard it here first. You got to be disciplined. You got to be accountable. And then ultimately, y'all, you got to change the freaking game. We'll see you guys next week at 9 a.m. Central. Later.